On Monday, October 26, 2015, Western Reserve News was at the Perry Township Trustee meeting, and following that, Western Reserve News was at the Sebring City Council meeting. On Tuesday, Western Reserve News was at the Lexington Township meeting. On Wednesday, Western Reserve News was at the Salem Township Trustee meeting. And on Thursday, Western Reserve News was at the West Branch School Board of Education meeting. The West Branch Superintendent gives his report and the Student Achievement Report.
Yes. Recognitions, Mr. Phillips.
Yeah, Advisor Tracy White and the National Honor Society members for homecoming. We'd like to congratulate to Queen Carly Sedlacek and court members Morgan Erb, Destiny Gooseby, Kaylee Manning, Shayna Sands, Kira Sharp, and Hannah Sproul. Teenagers of the Month, Alliance Out BPO number 467, Haley Davis and Matthew Heffinger. The Alliance Chamber of Commerce, Deanna Pagnuco. Alliance Review Athlete of the Week, Paige Walsh, Trey Hillier, and Jenna Smith. The Warrior Wipeout Committee for their outstanding fundraiser efforts that contribute to the Warpath Stadium renovations. To Larry Stuckey, Supervisor of Building and Grounds, for coordinating all the renovations at the track this past year. And Sue DiTilio, the Alliance Area Chamber of Commerce Teacher of the Month.
Very well, thank you.
Treasurer Dan Telsrow gives his somewhat gloomy fiscal report.
Yes, item 10, recommend approval of a 5-year financial forecast for the fiscal year 2016 through fiscal year 2020. And before we vote, Mr. Telsrow, would you like to discuss the 5-year forecast?
Sure. Once again, we do the 5-year forecast that's required by law to be considered and approved by the board by October 31st of every fiscal year. In addition to that, we then have to update and go through the process again for consideration and approval at the end of May of every fiscal year. So this would be the October forecast. In summary, we came into this year with about $4.9 million in cash. As some people are aware that follow the school district, we've had a number of expenditures this year, and in our forecast to do things like improve the stadium and renovate the stadium. We have other things in there for paving, a lot of instructional related equipment, school buses, a vehicle that can be used by our maintenance department, food service department, and fine arts program. We have a significant increase in the next 2 years anticipated. Currently, we know we're going to get an increase. We're anticipating a significant increase in the cost of our medical plan to the tune of about 11.5% for our medical plan. About 10% of that, 10+% of that is absorbed by the board. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, but we've got some significant items in that, all of which basically cause a fairly large deterioration in our cash balance, the $4.9 million that I talked about. At the end of this fiscal year, 16, we're expecting about a $3.9 to $4 million cash balance, so we're declining cash by about $900 and some odd thousand. Next year, that figure drops off to about $2.5 million. And in the third year of the forecast that would conclude June 30th of 18, we're looking at about $400 and some odd thousand cash balance. So significant change in our forecast, and something that we'll be watching very closely to see, look for opportunities to improve some of those cash balances. But we've got a lot of activities going on over the next couple of years that are going to provide benefits to the school district, but are obviously at a cost to the school district. So,
thank you. Treasurer, call the roll, please.
Mr. Glista.
Yes.
Ms. McLaughlin.
Yes.
Mr. Wallace.
Yes.
Mrs. Carnegie?
Yes.
Mr. Trimmer?
Yes.
Salem Township trustees discuss intersection issues on Butcher Road.
They come up, you come up there to make it, people don't, if you're stopped here and Butcher's here, people come up the hill there. They don't see these people come up the hill. If you pull up there and stop at a certain time, you can't see somebody coming up that hill. And they're halfway out in the road, stop because to see down over the hill, and then somebody's making a turn. And some people have been pulled, some people left the stop sign and people's coming up there
So
to
you
turn.
need a sign for the people coming up the hill?
Up the hill.
It's still not going to help the people coming down the hill.
No, that's not the problem. It's the people coming up to make a left-hand turn on Butcher.
We'll have to try to figure it out.
If the people was going south and made a proper left-hand turn instead of cutting the corner across, it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
It's an issue because they're cutting the corner off.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what
So I
sign.
don't know what you would do.
Salem Township trustees discuss able-bodied help available through the Family Services.
I got a guy come with me about information about us maybe getting help through the county, like we had our boys.
Yeah.
There's a program that we can get help through the county. It's not the court, it's not community service, it's something. Jason might be a little familiar with it, or about that county where they had to work out something for their benefits.
That was a youth program I went through.
But no, there's another one in Lisbon through, what would it be?
Job and Family Services.
Maybe.
It's probably, that's how the other one was through too, still through Job and Family
If we
Services.
want, I think, I would like to at least pursue it, or have somebody come out and talk to us, because the guy told me about it, uses them in Lisbon, and they're really happy with it.
Lexington Township trustees look to get problems at the Alliance Recycling Plant straightened out when their permit comes up for renewal.
And there was that area on this side of the road, and they acquired that, and now there's stuff over there, and, that's kind of an expansion with,
You're sure that meeting will be the third Monday?
that's what we're gearing for. And, I'll know by the end of this week when it's scheduled, because we're trying to get the zoning commission meeting also in November, trying to get something that coordinates with you and Michelle, so I'll be sending something out to the two of you.
Well, good. Well, that is one that we need to just take care of in November. I'm sure if we air the concerns at a meeting, that it'll probably be.
Trustees hope that speed data information collected by the Sheriff's Department will aid them in setting speed limits.
Hey, one final thing for the gentleman in the back, the deputies that are here. If there's any way that you can share the data collected from the Beeson speed devices, that'd probably be helpful for us.
Get that. I know he had some issues the first time he put it out.
Oh, okay.
And then he had to bring it back up to re-download it, so we should have that. I'll have him get it out here to you guys.
And I think you had that placed in at least 3 locations to collect data from various points.
I believe he did. Usually Dave deals with that.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't tell you exactly where he put it. I just knew there was an issue that he had to bring the quote in.
Well, we appreciate you putting that out there, as you guys said that you would, and we'll get a handle on what sort of the average speeds are at different times of the day, and see if applying for any speed changes is in order. So if you can get that to us, we'd greatly appreciate it.
At the Monday, October 26, 2015 Perry Township meeting, Chairman Cliff Mix gives the new business report, which includes numerous items for trustees to consider.
Under new business, we have Resolution 1524 to have the County Auditor's Office certify the amount to be received from the police levy as a renewal.
So move.
Second.
Trustee Miss?
Yes.
Trustee Kendrick?
Yes.
Trustee Ruderbaugh?
Yes.
Resolution 1525 to have the County Auditor's Office certify the amount to be received from the police levy as a replacement.
So move.
Second.
Trustee Kendrick?
Yes.
Trustee Ruderbaugh?
Yes.
Trustee Miss?
Resolution 1526 to participate in the Ohio State Purchasing Program through the Ohio Administrative Services for 2015-2016 year at the cost of the township of $100.
So move.
Second.
Trustee Rudaba?
Yes.
Trustee Metz?
Yes.
Trustee Kendrick?
Yes.
And we have a resolution authorizing the construction of a township storage building, which would be Resolution 1626.
So moved.
Second.
That'd be resolution 1527.
1527.
1527.
Yeah.
Trustee Metz?
Yes.
Trustee Kendrick?
Yes.
Trustee Rudaba?
Yes.
Cliff, what old business do you have for us?
Okay. Under old business, the second quotation was received by the fire department for the air compressor fill station from Finley Fire Equipment. It's more than the one from Warren Fire Equipment. Copies are in our packets. So we'll have to make a decision on that. The leaf pickup begins on November 2nd on the north side of the township for 2 weeks, and we move to the south side for 2 weeks. These must be in bags and be lifted into the truck by one person and be curbside. Sticks and twigs should be bundled separately and will be picked up at a different time. Extra bags can be picked up at the South Station Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. till 3 p.m. and should probably call first. The number is 330-337-7266. They will also be available to North Station and South Station on Election Day. Trick or treat in the township is Saturday, October 31st, 2015 from 5 to 7 p.m., same as the city. And our volunteer fire breakfast, department breakfast is 11/21/15 at 7 a.m. to noon at the North Station.
And Perry Township trustees approved $38,230 to be paid to Warren Fire Equipment for an air compressor for the fire department.
Would I make a motion to purchase that?
I'll make a motion to approve the one from Warren for the $38,230.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Trustee Metz?
Yes.
Trustee Rudaba?
Yes.
Trustee Kendrick?
Yes.
So I'm going to need resolution 1529 for $38,230 from the Safety Forces Fire Fund to buy that.
Okay.
I need a motion.
I'll
You
make
say you need a motion for that?
Yep, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Rudaba?
Yes.
Trustee Kendrick?
Yes.
Trustee Metz?
Yes.
At the October 26, 2015 Sebring City Council meeting, Richard Giroux gives his manager's report.
With that, Mr. Manager, it's your turn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think Council will be stunned that my report is rather short this evening. A couple things. I did attend the District 6 meeting in Youngstown for the second round of project reviews and point scoring. Mayor Pinkerton was also there. Sebring received an additional 8 points for the California paving project, and that brings our total to 54. There's supposed to be additional reviews where additional points could be awarded in the future. Certainly keep you advised in the...
Meeting's tomorrow, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll be there. And so just based on where our points are and the breakdowns that I've given council members, it looks pretty promising at this point, so hopefully we'll get a grant. If we are awarded a grant for District 6, usually those awards go out in July, so it will be a fall pave. Ironically, if it doesn't make District 6 and it goes to small governments, the money would be available earlier and you may get a spring pave out of it, so we'll see how that goes. I have already informed council, regretfully, the Deputy Fire Chief Brad Harlan advised my office that he had declined the appointment as Fire Chief and decided to remain as Fire Captain. He's currently requested leave of absence, which I have granted. As council knows and was reported in the paper, I appointed Assistant Fire Chief Freivogel as Acting Fire Chief in the interim. As Senior Officer, he will manage the department until further notice. My intent is to open up the Fire Chief position internally for those in the department that are interested and schedule interviews accordingly. So I'm gearing up to get that out tomorrow. and certainly keep council fully advised as that unfolds. Late last week, I attended the annual Ohio Municipal League Conference in Columbus. Some interesting seminars. A lot of it had to do with House Bill 5, the new tax structures and so forth, but it's definitely an interesting conference. Time Warner Cable quarterly franchise fee payment for this quarter was $11,206.84. As Councilman Wright mentioned regarding the high phone bills that we're experiencing, we are looking for service provider options. I was advised a couple weeks ago by Judy Warwick, who works in her finance office, that she talked to the auditor for Alliance regarding their service. Alliance uses Time Warner for their phone service and their landlines, and pay about $29 per line for unlimited local and long distance. AT&T is currently charging us about $250 per line, so we are making rapid arrangements to make the shift.
We discussed that once before, but when the cable goes out, the phone goes out.
That's one of the things we'll look into. I mean, ultimately, council will...
The cable was out on Friday for hours. It was out on Wednesday also.
Well, we'll look into that.
Yeah.
I'm going to schedule a meeting with a representative from Time Warner, kind of get a full scope of what they're offering, and obviously reliability would be an issue. And
we can't have our phones done, though.
No, I agree. Especially if there's anything related to our internet or server provider that gets certainly factored too. So we'll look at that. Obviously, council's going to approve the new contract when we finally get to brass tacks, and we'll take a look at it. But it's 10 times cheaper. Maybe that's why. I don't know. We'll find out. Chief Everly is on vacation from October 23rd to the 31st. He said he would be available by cell phone and is in the area. Sergeant Faudrey will run the day-to-day operations for the police department in his absence. I am pleased to announce the annual budget is nearing completion, and I will try to forward a first balanced draft to Finance Committee by next Monday. This isn't on my list, but just a couple things that popped in my head that is not in my main report that you were given. I do have a meeting with Better Build website design later this week. I have a tentative day of Wednesday. I've already sent him out a lot of the electronic material that he needs, descriptions and photographs and so forth that we were using in the previous town. And so the tentative meeting is on Wednesday, and we'll start working on actual constructing of the new site. We anticipate 3 weeks in the process. As everybody knows, paving is in full swing. Many of the streets are already done. So do you have are we done, or we still have a few left?
Streets are all paved. Striping has to be done on Indiana Avenue yet.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. Yes.
Did they get the holes patched?
Yes.
Which
The ones you dug on 15th Street.
Oh, yes. Yeah. We made sure. We made sure that was taken care of. So.
I'm sorry, Bill. I didn't mean to be that critical.
It's the nature of the beast every time.
But we want to make sure, since they were brand new paved streets from spring.
We just wanted to see how thick the asphalt truly was, right?
That's right.
It was good.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Manager. In your number 3, you have where you granted Mr. Harlan a leave of absence. How long?
It's really kind of without a specified date at this point. He did mention to me candidly that he was looking for a few weeks, and then he would advise me when he would be back online.
Okay. Anything else in the manager's report, folks?
I mean, how do you grant a volunteer leave of absence?
Well, technically, he would be available. He would be available to be on duty as a volunteer. He's just simply stating it that even though I'm a volunteer, I'm not going to be available. So that's basically it. Yes, you're correct. It's not really an official leave, but it is an acknowledgement that he's not going to be available. Mr. Mayor, that's all I have. That's for my formal report tonight.
Sebring has got a paving grant.
They're granting us...
The grant award is for $510,000.
So we need to come up with 73,000.
Yes, we need 20% of the total project. It's 80/20.
Okay, so that's 73,000. So maybe we need the time.
Well, if it's a 2016 or 17 project, council usually approves anywhere from $150,000 to $200,000 annually for an in-house paving project. What we've done in recent years is we've reserved some of that in-house money and used that as matching funds to grants we've been awarded recently. So I would assume that when the time comes, when the 2017 budget is being built, we'll appropriate part of that money that we usually reserve for paving and allocate it for the match for that project.
So that's what your plan is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And the Mahoning County engineer, Mr. Genetti, has indicated that he will apply. He's not eligible for this particular grant, but he will apply for funding that will run consistently parallel with our project and work from the corporation limits north to Route 14. That's good.
That's
So
great.
that should clear up
Way to
12th
go.
Street. So Mr. Genetti is right on top of this one. We've talked with him and we've talked with his project manager planner. So we thought we could do this all under one grant, but for whatever reason, the county is not eligible for the federal grant that we are here on this. Okay. Moving forward.
We didn't vote yet, Mark.
Oh, we still got it on the floor, don't we?
Yep.
Long discussion. Any other questions or comments? Clerk, call the roll.
Hydro.
Aye.
Householder.
Aye.
Flowers.
Aye.
Weingart.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Motion carries.